Welcome back to the Shade Tree Garage, guys. And I just wanted to take a minute and I wanted to respond to a comment that I'd gotten on an earlier video. And it has to do with my new air cleaner. But he commented on the video where I'm modifying the base of this air cleaner. And it's commonly known, and I might get in trouble for this, as a batwing air cleaner. That's really not its actual name. Well, that's what it's called today. But 70 years ago, the batwing air cleaner was actually an air cleaner used on, I think, Chevy, Caddy, Oldsmobile, V8 cars that had dual quads. And it doesn't even look like what we call a batwing air cleaner today. Now, let me show you what a real batwing air cleaner looks like. Okay. All right, and I'll put the picture up here. And this is a vintage batwing air cleaner, and it's designed for two quads. I guess they may have made them for, three deuces. I don't know. But two, presumably Carter WCFBs, square bore carburetors, or whatever they were using at the time, and GM. I'll say the commenter pointed out that what I'm calling a batwing air cleaner under the hood of my Chevy is not historically accurate term. The batwing air cleaner was designed for two 4-barrels. Now you may, I'm sure you've seen a picture of one of these, and here it is. All right, now I got to tell you, they're not the sexiest air cleaners I've ever seen. And of course, back in that day, it was not a paper filter element, it was a oil bath. And on my modest opinion, they're utilitarian, and their design, their triangular design, makes it look like they were, you can tell that you've got two 4s, obviously, with this air cleaner. They're not very sexy looking. They're very utilitarian, but one look under the hood and you've got dual quads there, right? Or you should. This type of air cleaner fell out of favor eventually, and actually they're hard to find and expensive. And frankly, I'm not a big fan of it. Now, when I had dual quads on my first 55 Chevy, I used two Edelbrock air cleaners. And that, because, if you're not in the know on what an actual batwing air cleaner looked like, you wouldn't know what was under the hood. Now, when I rebuilt the motor on my first 55 Chevy, about 1982, I put dual quads, Carter AFBs on it. And I would not have chosen the original batwing air cleaner. I wanted something that screamed to the world, dual quads. Something that looked more performance oriented. So, and I didn't think that was. To me, that wasn't it. But if you're a purist and you like the new old stock or the look of that, if you got two 4s on your V8, General Motors V8, and you want that, fine, that's good for you. But this commenter's angrily, or at least that's the way it seemed, his use of capital letters seemed to emphasize, this POS is not a batwing air cleaner. Okay. I think there's a message there for me somewhere. Anyway, it was used on blah 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 blah. Okay. It was. Now, ironically, the man is right. The batwing air cleaner does not look a thing like the air cleaner on my Chevy. And frankly, I wouldn't have bought one that looked like the one on my Chevy. Unless I was going the resto route, you know. I'm not. I wanted chrome, I wanted sexy. And the current version of what today is a batwing air cleaner fit the bill. Now, and so in my comment to the fella, I said, well, do a Google image search for batwing air cleaner. Just for, you know, shits and giggles. And you will have about, out of 100 responses, you will see probably 3 to 4 true batwing air cleaners that for dual quad. And the rest of the images you see will more than likely be either original versions or reproduction versions of the air cleaner I have on my Chevy. Okay? So Google says that's a batwing air cleaner too, and I'm not going to complain. You know, it's just the term has changed, and even the guys here, even my friends here in the Whiskey City Cruisers, refer to that as a batwing air cleaner, even though you and I and Mr. Pissy knows that it isn't. So, and that's fine. You know, he's right. I'm not gonna, you know, there's no disputing that he is correct. You know, this is just an air cleaner guy. This isn't national defense. You know, our lives aren't riding on whether I'm right or you're right, all right? Because the air cleaner I have is also known as a batwing air cleaner, right or wrong, right or wrong. And in my book, and this is just personal opinion, it is sexier than that other thing for the actual intake for 2.4s. Anyway, again, that's just my opinion, but I did want to respond that because the response seemed to indicate that I had no idea about I didn't know air cleaners. Well, sorry about that, guy, but before I even got this air cleaner and I was trying to get a little history of it, I found out that it wasn't, that the real batwing air cleaner is triangular shaped and used on multiple carbed GM products. So there you go. All right, and my wife would be surprised that I'm admitting I'm wrong. Of course, I know that, you know, that's, anyway, but it's an interesting lesson. I don't know how many of us are geeky enough to want to consider ourselves experts in air cleaner over the years, unless you're a premium collector of cars and, you know, want that, not just the correct air cleaner, but the one with the correct sticker on it. So anyway, that's all I have to comment on that. I do appreciate the guys stopping and looking. All right, that's going to be it for this post from the Shade Tree Garage. Get out and enjoy that weather. See you next time.